I am Mike Tuckner, intuitive business coach and host of the Recalibrated Mind Podcast, the podcast where we dive deep into finding peace, joy, passion, and prosperity. Today, we are discussing how to find joy during challenging times. Things seem to be going off the rails more and more every day in today's world. Stress is piling up, and uncertainty is becoming a major trend in nearly all of our lives. So, the question that we are going to address today is how can we quiet the noise in our heads and bring some joy into our life? One of the best things I have found to quiet the noise is to turn off the news. I am definitely a news junkie, so this is not easily done for me. But we all reach that point where we know enough is enough. The nonstop chaos of the daily news cycle can be overwhelming. Every day seems to bring with it a new WTF moment that we just can't make sense of. So finding the bright side can be a challenge. It's important to stay grounded and focused on the good things in your life. We are nothing if not our thoughts. If your thoughts focus on if your thoughts focus on misery, your life will become miserable. If you can direct your thoughts towards the things in your life that bring you joy, that you are grateful for, those are the themes that will present themselves in your life. Joy as a mindset means it's not solely dependent on external circumstances, but rather on an intentional way of thinking and perceiving the world. It's a choice. To, it's a choice to focus on what brings meaning, gratitude, and positivity, even in the face of challenges. Here's how it works, and it can be cultivated even during adversity. Joy is rooted in perspective. So shift your focus. Instead of dwelling on what's going wrong, focus on what's still good or what you can learn from a given situation. Perhaps you're glad that you have a rainy day fund that you set up for times like this. Maybe your health is good. That's something that we should all be grateful for, right? Are times going to be very tough financially as you kind of weather this storm? Perhaps you can find joy in a new skill or a side hustle that might present itself as a way to make ends meet now, but might in turn become something bigger than you thought and may even turn into your main job once the dust finally settles. When things are really bad, you might just need to be thankful for the air you are breathing and start from there. There's always something that you can find to hold on to until things get better. You can reframe your challenges. Adversity can be seen as an opportunity for growth, resilience, and self-discovery. For example, setbacks can teach patience or reveal inner strength. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right? By appreciating small blessings, you train your mind to notice the positive, even amid difficulty. Joy is a choice, not a circumstance. Notice the difference in what is happening to you internally and externally. While happiness often depends on external events, joy comes from within. It's about finding meaning and contentment regardless of external conditions. Look at your family and friends or people who are on your social media feeds. You know who the happy people are and who the miserable people are, right? I believe that true joy and happiness can only come from within. You can't rely on others to make you happy. But at the same time, surrounding yourself with happy people will make happiness a lot easier to attain. You can recalibrate your mind using techniques like mindfulness and affirmations. They can help rewire your thoughts towards positivity and gratitude, making joy a habit. Mindfulness comes from being present in the moment and allows you to find joy in simple things like a sunrise, a smile, or a cup of coffee. Acts of kindness are things like helping others, You can spark joy by creating a sense of purpose and connection. Sometimes the best way to find joy for yourself is to help others find joy in their life. Helping others always feels good. Doing the right thing is never the wrong thing. Try to identify activities that have brought you joy in the past. Maybe you can reconnect with hobbies or passions that bring you fulfillment, even for a few minutes a day. If you're not going out to eat and traveling in an effort to save money, you'll have time to bring back the hobbies in your life that have gotten away from you due to the constraints of your daily life. Adversity can be a catalyst for joy as well. Hardship has a way of stripping life down to its essentials, revealing the beauty and joy in things we might have overlooked. It's through these challenges that we learn to live more fully, embrace gratitude, and find joy in the little things that truly matter. Hardship highlights what truly matters. When faced with challenges, we're often forced to reevaluate our priorities. The trivial or material things lose significance, and we begin to cherish the meaningful aspects of life, like relationships, health, and small everyday comforts. Adversity helps us recognize the beauty in simplicity, like a kind word, a warm meal, or time spent with loved ones. You'll find that gratitude emerges from contrast. Experiencing hardship creates a contrast that makes moments of peace, joy, or success feel more profound. For example, recovering from illness can make good health feel like a gift. Overcoming financial struggles can heighten gratitude for stability. All of us have countless examples of this in our lives. It just takes a little effort to recalibrate your thinking and to shine some light on your dark spaces. You can achieve growth through resilience. Hardship builds resilience and inner strength, which fosters a sense of pride and accomplishment. This growth often leads to deeper appreciation for the journey, including the tough moments that shaped us. Think back on the biggest challenges you've conquered in your life. Is what you're dealing with now as bad as the challenges that you faced previously? I was 20 years old when I was sent to Saudi Arabia during the first Gulf War. My biggest stressor prior to going overseas was finals during college. Being involved in a war with all of its challenges, obstacles, and trauma raised my coping skills up to a level that hasn't been exceeded since. Painful experiences teach us to savor the present moment. Knowing we've weathered storms before and can do so again. You can also develop increased empathy and connection. Struggles often make us more empathetic towards others who are going through similar experiences. This shared understanding can deepen human connections, which in turn brings joy and fulfillment. Helping others or sharing our story can also bring a sense of purpose and joy. Right next to the greatest challenge of our past lies our greatest superpower. That superpower is often the ability to help others who are experiencing a challenge that we have already conquered. You can use your experience to help those other people. And try finding joy in the ordinary. After hardship, the small everyday moments like a sunny day, a laughing child, or a quiet morning can take on new meaning. These moments, often seen as mundane, become sources of joy because we've learned to notice and appreciate them. Use adversity as a teacher. Hardship often teaches us life lessons about patience, gratitude, and perseverance. These insights help us approach life with a greater sense of humility and wonder. As Viktor Frankl writes in A Man's Search for Meaning, even in suffering, we can find purpose and a deeper appreciation for life. Try to let go of control. Adversity teaches you to release what you can't control and focus on what you can, your mindset and your actions. If you're like me, this can be a tad on the difficult side, but not nearly as difficult as trying to control things that you can't. Here are some philosophical sites on joy. One of the most meaningful books I've ever read is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. He says, joy comes from living fully in the present moment rather than being consumed by past regrets or future fears. I'll add that everything in the past is simply a thought now. Everything in the future is also only a thought. So be careful on what thoughts you let in. The present is the only time you can control. So it's the best place to spend your mental energy. Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, emphasizes the power of positive thinking and visualization to cultivate a joyful and purpose driven mindset. Cultivating joy in adversity is about training your mind to focus on gratitude, presence, and growth. It's not about ignoring pain or challenges, but about choosing to find light within them. By adopting this mindset, you create a sustainable source of joy that can carry you through life's ups and downs. So let's try to understand joy. What is it? Joy is a deep, lasting sense of contentment and fulfillment that stems from within, rather than being dependent on external circumstances. Unlike fleeting happiness, which is often tied to temporary pleasures or achievements, joy is a more profound emotional state connected to meaning, gratitude, and alignment with one's values and purpose. Joy is incredibly important when times get tough because it acts as a stabilizing force, helping you navigate challenges with resilience and hope. Here's why joy matters during difficult times. Joy builds emotional resilience. It provides a mental and emotional anchor, allowing you to face adversity with a positive mindset. It helps you bounce back from setbacks by focusing on what's still good and meaningful in your life. Joy offers a sense of hope. In tough times, joy reminds you that better days are ahead and are possible. Even small moments of joy can reignite hope, keeping you motivated to move forward. Joy reduces stress and anxiety. Joy triggers the release of feel good hormones like serotonin and dopamine, which counteract stress and improve your mental state. This physiological response can help you think more clearly and make better decisions in challenging situations. Joy can help you stay present. Tough times pull your focus toward fears of the future or regrets about the past. Joy, however, brings you back to the present moment. Being present allows you to find peace in small, everyday experiences, even amidst chaos. Joy can strengthen relationships. Sharing joy with others fosters connection and support, which are crucial during hard times. Strong relationships provide encouragement and a sense of belonging, helping you feel less alone. Joy encourages gratitude and perspective. It'll shift your perspective, helping you see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. Gratitude for small joys can create a ripple effect, making even the hardest days feel more manageable. Joy aligns you with your inner strength. Joy reminds you of your inner strength and the things that truly matter, such as love, purpose, and personal growth. This alignment can help you stay grounded and focused on what you can control. Let's look at some examples of what I use to find joy in my personal life. My personal model is create or die. I realized at a very young age that I was quote unquote creative And I am at my happiest when I am creating. And over the years, I've developed a few creative talents. I'm a musician, a writer, a photographer, and I also fancy myself a pretty good cook. Nothing recalibrates my state of mind more than sitting down and playing guitar after a period of not playing for a while. I describe the feeling as if a tuning fork has gone off in my soul. It's just everything just goes right back into alignment. I wrote countless commercials when I worked in radio and television. I found the process of grabbing a client's generic bullet points and turning them into an entertaining or lead generating commercial to be extremely rewarding. As a photographer, there is nothing better than the feeling of shooting a concert or a game or a portrait session and watching the photos fill up my screen on my computer when I put the SD card in. I love the feeling of anticipation as I wait to see if the pictures I took look as good on my computer as they looked on the back of my camera screen. Then I get to enjoy the labor of love that is the editing process. I find it epically satisfying when I capture a fleeting moment in time, whether it's a guitar player at the apex of jumping off a speaker, a receiver crossing the goal line, or the playful smile of a 5-year-old. Even thinking back on this gives me warm feelings of different, photo shoots that I've done. Um, cooking is creative. Cooking is creative, you may ask? Hell yes, it is. Have you ever tried to make one of your grandma's recipes and it tasted nothing like her version, even though you followed the recipe exactly? There's always a nuance to how the ingredients are prepared that can't come through on paper. I am one of those people who obsesses over a 12-hour pork shoulder smoke on my smoker. I have never made chili the same way twice. Why go through all the effort? Because I love to see the reaction of the people who get to eat what I made. I take joy from their joy. I love sending leftovers home with people and then getting a text the next day saying, "Oh man, it tasted even better today than it did yesterday." That makes me happy. I know that you have similar elements in your life that bring you joy, and I hope that you will put some effort towards pulling them back into your life when times get tough. Think of one small thing that you can do today to bring more joy into your life. And then look up Recalibrated Mind on Facebook and let me know a strategy that you use or a story where you found joy in a challenging time. Let's do a quick recap. Peace is often found right next to joy, and joy is often easiest to find during peaceful times. When life gets chaotic, we have to go on the offensive. The most important part to remember is that joy is a choice, not a circumstance. You are the only one who can make you happy. One of the best ways to make yourself happy is to explore your passions and choose to spend your time with people and projects that bring you up and give you energy as opposed to the things that drain your energy. Whenever you get stuck, I believe that helping others will in turn help you. I believe there is no better way to change your mindset than listening to the music that matches the emotions that you want to be experiencing. And I like to end each episode with the musical suggestion that fits the day's episode. Today's song is The Times They Are a Changing by Bob Dylan. Now, here's the first verse, and it's going to be really hard for me to read this without getting the Bob Dylan sound in, but here we go. So, come gather round people wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are changing. Thanks so much for listening to today's episode. Please join me in continuing the conversation by following the Recalibrated Mind Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, please look me up at recalibratedmind.com. Thank you for listening, and please go find some joy in your life.